Somehow the news of a Han Solo Marvel comic book miniseries completely bypassed me until about a week and a half ago, but fantastic news because the first issue's out already. It seems like Marvel's having a lot of fun with the idea of what exactly happened between episodes 4 and 5 of Star Wars, and they've touched on it plenty with the Marvel Comics series already with the main Star Wars series and the Darth Vader series, and they're diving a little bit more into events of what happened immediately after the Battle of Yavin in regards to Han Solo. To give a quick rundown of what's going on with this comic, and it might be a little bit confusing seeing as how he and the gang are already together in the main Star Wars series of the Marvel comic books, but you know, we gotta get something that's going on before that, so here we are. But we have Han Solo, who's kind of down on his luck. He's sort of sulking in a bar and kind of dealing with this reputation of being a smuggler that dumps his cargo at the first sign of Imperial trouble. You see, we get that cool little glimpse of what we've heard about Han Solo as far as that reputation of being somebody that does that, only now we see the actual consequence of where he sort of stands within the smuggling community for being somebody that doesn't take as many risks when trouble basically presents itself. And he's sort of in a spot of wondering if he's going to get very many offers for future work, or if he's actually going to be in trouble and struggling to even refuel the Millennium Falcon. And obviously, based on that whole setting, you can kind of deduce that he's not currently with the Rebel Alliance, but more so he actually took that money that they gave him for the whole rescuing Princess Leia from the Death Star and Battle of Yavin thing, and he did go to try and square up some of those debts. So he's a little bit apart from everything, but they're going to eventually try to bring him back, obviously, because we know that come the main Marvel Star Wars series, the whole gang is back together, and if I'm kind of speaking from my gut here of what I think's going to happen, I would bet that this miniseries ends up around, or at least leading up to the events that take place in the beginning of the main Star Wars series, which I'm really excited to see how that might go, and I can already see possibly a little bit of that foreshadowing happening. As for the comic though, is it worth your time? It's always kind of tough to tell with the first issues of comics because a lot of times they're just laying the groundwork for what a story could be. I did feel like it started a tiny bit slow, but toward the end really kind of started to get going as you started to see the intentions of the different characters, and there was one moment even that I get a huge kick out of that I wouldn't say I like totally laughed out loud, but it was definitely an audible chuckle that I had going on there. There's a little bit of mystery going on with this whole setting that I think could be intriguing as this whole mini-series goes on, and again, it's just 5 issues, so there's not going to be a whole lot of depth to everything, but still so far I'm pretty intrigued with how it goes. Like I said, it starts a little bit slow, but I felt like it finished on a really strong note to where after the very last frame of everything, I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta wait like 3 weeks till the next issue. So if you're curious as to whether or not you should pick this up, I would say that it is probably going to be worth your while. Again, it's just a 5-part miniseries, and everybody freaking loves Han Solo. Who wouldn't want to know a little bit more about what he was doing immediately after doing that heroic thing in episode 4? So we get to see a little bit of a glimpse of that. I think they're setting up what seems to be a possibly pretty intriguing story, and I gotta say, artwork wise, I love the way that everything in outer space is depicted with the Millennium Falcon and any other ships that might be around it. I thought those were beautifully drawn, and I'm excited to see if there's more of that coming along in later issues. I gotta think that there will be. But anyway, that's just my thoughts on this whole first issue of the Han Solo comic. To me, it was somewhat of a pleasant surprise because, again, like I said, I didn't even know this was a thing until a week and a half ago, and I was able to go pick it up this last weekend. Finally got around to reading it, and I enjoyed it. But if you've read this comic as well, I'd be eager to know what you thought. Please feel free to share those comments in the comments below. If you like this video, you know I always appreciate that like button, and if you like videos like this, you know, click that subscribe button if you haven't already. I feel like I don't ask that of people very much often anymore, but you know, do it if you want to. But above all else, everybody, thanks so much for watching.